Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Many men don't understand sexual charisma. Now, I wanted to talk about this. It's kind of inspired by the whole R. Kelly thing, right? And this ain't a podcast getting into R. Kelly, but I remember on my Deep Thought channel, I talked about the metaphysics of R. Kelly. And I was basically just talking about the sexual charisma. But, he always got one person to say, no, it was just about his resources. And one thing I've seen over the years when I've talked about sexual charisma, that sexual magnetism, that X factor, that energy, a lot of guys don't get it. Like women understand it right away, right? But a lot of guys don't get it. They'll think... it's just looks, money, and status, or even game, right? And I always said, well, you know what? A lot of what I talk about is considered game, but my main thing is trying to help a man to develop sexual magnetism, right? That's my main thing. Now, for a man to understand it, like women already do. Women, y'all already got it figured out. Y'all know some men got that it factor and some men don't. And generally, the men who really going to get the most women and have women going crazy got an it factor. Like other men might see the man getting a woman and they be getting women like crazy. And they're like, how he getting women? You know what? He ain't muscular. He a little overweight. He short. He homely. He got white clothes, but women going crazy. It's the charisma. If you ever see that thing like that, I guarantee that's the whole thing, right? In fact, when I talk about select men, when I talk about the masked man and the Mr. Goodbar, the Mr. Goodbar, what separates him from every other man is having that sexual charisma. And it's not necessarily based on looks. I mean, they can look good, but it is really about that energy. In fact, in my book, A Player's Eyes, I said to understand it for the man. And it's hard for a man to understand if he's heterosexual, but to understand it is the difference between a porn star and a model. A lot of dudes think the model is the one who getting all the play, but the porn stars are picked for sexual charisma. Right? It is a big difference. It's a really big difference. And here's a way a man can understand it, right? Now, fellas, have you ever been out? Now, I know we all got our preference for face and big breasted, big round booty or something. But have you ever seen that woman who her butt might not be that big and round if that's what you like, or she might be flat chested, right? And, facially, she might just be average looking at best, or even like slightly homely. But they sexy as hell, like you want to fuck the shit out of them. Like not make love to them, anything, but they just drive you crazy. Like I know a couple older women like that. Like one, she real cool, but she don't have that perfectly round booty. Decent body, got a little bit of a gut, but dudes be going crazy over. And another woman I know like that, she's like real petite. Don't look like she's like reached puberty yet. She joked about her A cups, But guys be going crazy. I've literally seen guys with both these women. They be ready to pay for these women. These women got a magnet, and one of them ain't even particularly feminine. She just a older tomboy type. She ain't girly. She ain't very girly. But guys be going crazy. But that's because she got sexual charisma. That's how you understand it. Now, a lot of men, well, not a lot of men, you got a percentage of men, and I would put a number at roughly 10% have it. Cats like R. Kelly have it. Everybody think it's his resources, but if you listen to that documentary, his music teacher was peeping some shit just before he was famous. All right? And in fact, I read somewhere like Disney, when they were scouting child stars and stuff, they used to look for that it factor. Now, that sexual charisma thing is no joke. In fact, the guys who think, well, I just got to have looks or I got to have money or something. Oh, those things work. Let's not get it twisted. Those things work. But that charisma thing, take it to another level. that sexiness. Like there's an article I shared that's in the description box. The difference between cute and sexy. That's where 15 women describe, how they differentiate between somebody who might just be cute to them, generally good looking, and somebody they want to fuck. It's a different thing. Now, what you have in general with some guys, they just have that X factor. And people can't figure it out. That's why sometimes you see that average looking dude with that real hot woman going crazy, or she, you get some women with the guys and they like stalking him and finding their way to his place, and guys trying to figure it out. See, a lot of guys trying to see one thing. Our nature is that we're logical, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that sexual charisma thing is not a left brain logical thing. It's a right brain thing. That's why sometimes a dude, he might just have a good smile and driving women crazy or something like that, right? And it's really a combination. Sexual charisma, magnetism, is a combination of body build, like a decent body build, because a lot of cats who might have a little bit of a gut on them, right? Body build, personality, charm. It's a lot of factors, even hygiene. There's a lot of factors that go into it. One of the biggest factors is just being in touch. That man is in touch with his sexuality. See, a lot of men got some sexual repression issues, got some sexual issues. They not sexually confident. They worried about their performance, they worried about their dick size, whatever, right? But what you have with dudes who will have that X factor, they just cool. They ain't worried about their height. They ain't worried about their body build. They just comfortable with being sexual beings, right? Now, a few of them can get in trouble on some jobs because sometimes some women might take it the wrong way. They friendly and the women thinking they try and get in their drawers, but that's just because of the energy they have. And in fact, a lot of people have talked about this. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Read the chapter on sex transmutation. He talked about a man who trained salesmen who said he looked for that magnetism in a man. In fact, a lot of salesmen have it naturally. That's one thing. If somebody has it like naturally, then they have that gift, and I will say it's a gift naturally, they make great salesmen. Personally, I've always said I wouldn't be a millionaire if I decided, screw the guys, channel my inner Derek Jackson, and just said I'm going to deal exclusively with women. I'd already be a millionaire. Because anytime, even when I was in sales, if I saw a woman in front of me, I was already counting the commission. Seriously, my closure rate in selling anything dealing with women is extremely high. Closure is extremely high, but that's just putting that charisma to work. And I ain't dry snitching or anything on myself, but I've had more women call me sexy than they've called me fine or handsome. All right. But it's just, and that's one of the things. It's just that energy thing, and it's really just honestly it's a mindset. But it can be developed, but it's not an ABC type of thing of development, right? It's not an ABC. I do this. No, it's really just a life experience, getting comfortable with your own sexuality, and not hiding it. A lot of dudes try to suppress it for whatever reason. Religion, bad experiences, whatever. They think they're being polite. And it was I don't particularly do that. But if a man can understand that and really get in touch with that energy, and I think it can be developed. So far, I've seen it just brought out of guys who kind of had it, but I think if you're a male, you can bring it out. But then there's a lot of blocks that you have on it, and I think that's the best way. A lot of men focus on, here's an example. It just came to me how to explain this. When men focus on using money and status or even their looks to get a woman, they don't really develop their intangible qualities, which is charisma. They focused on them. So if they using money and status, and that money and they getting women, that money and status change, all of a sudden they don't get women because they never developed anything else. Or even looks will change. You get some cat, you might look good when you young, get plenty of attention, but you stop your gym workouts or something, you put on some weight, or something, something happened, all of a sudden you fall off, all of a sudden it's like boom. But with the charisma thing, that shit just stay there. That shit just stay there, right? You're not leaning on it. And it's something that's working all the time. You don't even need to think about like your techniques or anything like that. Because once you turn it on, it's always on. At best, you might have to like figure out how to turn it down. I actually had a woman tell me that one time, and she said, I needed to turn it down. I said, you getting hot? She's like, yeah. It's like, okay. We trying to get some business done. But, yeah. If men can really understand that would be a great power. Really get into it. Like I said, it's intangible. Isn't that based on how much money you got? Isn't that based on your status? Not even based on your physical appearance. That's why I'm telling you. That's why you get some average dude or even ugly dude be getting some badass women. Because it's that intangible thing. It's not even a physical thing. Because see, here's the thing about the physical thing people don't seem to get. The physical thing isn't universal to anybody. You ask 10 different women, they're going to say 10 different types of men look good to them. So if you focus too much on that, your shit only going to work with the women who just like how you look. Right? And even with the money and status thing, right? Even with the money and status thing, the woman ain't going for you. She going for the money, which means she'll go for somebody else with more money or a bit more status. But once you got that charisma thing, you got that energy, boom, it's always about you. It's always about you. In fact, the woman might be like, damn, why I'm messing with you? You don't even look that good. They'll say that. Women have some dude tearing them up and stuff, and they be like, he don't even look that good. But it's that energy. It's that energy. And if, like I talk about how to develop it, which I think will develop in my book, Sexual Chemistry. Right? Because it kind of requires that you let go of any conditionings in your mind about people, about sexuality, all of that. You basically, it's like you got the energy right there, but you got a block on it. So you got to remove that block and just let it flow. Right? So anyway, and honestly, that's what I talk about. That's what distinguishes me from most of other, no disrespect to any other dating coach or anything like that, but that's where, if you really read my stuff, I don't get into it publicly because, well, Rom's a capitalist, I'd rather you pay for it. But if you really want to get into it, you want to look at, get into what I really do. It's about the sexual energy. It's about the sexual charisma. That way you pull in. That's why a joke with my inner circle type of people is about going in a club or something, sitting in a corner eating buffalo wings. I've literally had that happen. And it was the energy. I wasn't doing anything. I'm not trying to be bothered. I'm trying to eat. And I had women like lined up coming to me. So anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. Check out the article and check out my Hello Ladies page because I have a question for the women regarding sexual charisma. So anyway, I'll talk to y'all. Peace and blessings.